What is your vision when you think about schools without borders?
Schools and learning should not be confined just to classrooms or just to a particular school. We collaborated with 20 schools across the world. The older ones teach the younger ones. Children created the whole lesson into a rap song.
The world around us is different. Demonetization, COVID, children have to be prepared to face any challenge.
We had children going into the forest and learning, and now West has started some forest schools. They are cognitively more developed. Socially and emotional learning is less. I feel that experiential learning is very important. Make children experience what they are learning.
In this episode of Beyond the Bells, we will be focusing on interacting about schools beyond borders. Prima facie, if we talk about schools beyond borders, it's about breaking the barriers of classroom to integrate with culture, real world challenges, and with the environment around the children. Today we have with us Ma'am Suman Sood, Director and Principal B.D.Memorial Junior School.
A multi award winning leader, she has pioneered global collaborations, led India's first Montessori school to win the British Council International School Award, and represented the country on international education platforms. Founder of the Early Childhood Association, Kolkata Chapter, she actively works with NGOs and industry bodies to advance learning beyond the classroom.
And children are learning not only the education aspects, but they learn the moral values, face their real world challenges. Welcome, ma'am. Today we will just deep dive into the aspects of when we talk about schools beyond without borders. So, if I to ask you, what is your vision when you think about schools without borders?
I think in today's age, this is very relevant. First of all, schools and learning should not be confined just to classrooms or just to a particular school. It's important that collaboration is there, and you can collaborate very easily these days because of technology. And I remember my first project, which I did of global collaboration, that was in the year 2002. So that time technology had just come in, and we collaborated with 20 schools across the world. And it was a very new experience, but it was a great learning. So I think this is what schools without borders means to me.
So, when we talk about school without borders, most of the time people think that outside the school it is without borders. So, basically, if we go into a granular level, it's about breaking the barriers that we have in our classrooms also.
Yes.
So, even class 3 classroom is a border, class 4 classroom is a border,
Right.
class 5 is a border. So, breaking the barriers of these classrooms, how do you think you have experienced, and is anything being practiced in BD Memorial where you break down the barriers of school internally, that one class 3 child is communicating with class 5, or if class 5 is able to communicate with the senior section of BD Memorial or any as such practice?
Absolutely. So this is very important. As I said, classroom without borders also is important. So as an early childhood educator, I believe in Montessori learning. And in Montessori, if you see that there is no classroom as such, the classrooms are of different age levels. Children from the age of 2.5 to 5.5 are in the same classroom. So that is the peer learning is there. The older ones teach the younger ones look up to the older ones and learn quickly from them. So the same kind of concept, we may not be able to have it totally in primary sections, but yes, a lot of projects are there which are done like a whole school project. So, like we suddenly found that we need to do something about planting and something about farming. We were all very keen to do that, but there is a space constraint. So how to go about that? So we did a brainstorming with different classrooms, and then some of them got together, and a project came up about kitchen gardening. Okay. So the younger ones helped with the digging of the soil. The older ones, they brought the pots. So it was a beautiful learning experience. So these kind of experiences, I think they need to be there in schools so that the barriers of classrooms are not
Okay.
there.
So when we talk about integration of this classroom academics with the culture, with what the real world things are happening. So now the world has changed a lot. Our curriculum, changing the curriculum is a challenge for everyone. It's not a
Absolutely.
one day job that can be done. It's a tedious work that is being done.
Yeah.
But if we talk about academics, the base remains the same. So what is there in the textbooks is to be learned even at a later stage.
Yeah.
So now building on top of that, then making education learning a dynamic so that it's not restricted within the classroom academics or curriculum. There also it breaks the borders. So if a class 3 child is also learning photosynthesis, class 12 child is also learning photosynthesis. They deep dive into it. So now, if today with this Google and everything coming in, they just go, an interested child just Googles around and she learns it. So now that peer learning, if we talk about, how do you think is in the junior section, since the children are very young, but still do you feel that the collaboration between these children are there, they are interacting with the elder ones?
Absolutely. So that is what I meant about the whole school projects when we decide that, or we will embark upon our project.
Mhm.
So it is not that restricted to a particular class, or we don't feel that, this particular section of students should only be doing it. It is floated around the whole school. So somewhere somebody is writing a script, somewhere somebody is writing a journal, somewhere somebody is like, getting together and thinking about how to go about it. I spoke to you about the kitchen garden. So similarly, we also engineered one project which was growing a bean plant. So
Okay.
now that green plant was right from the nursery level up to class 5, and also with schools across the world. So what it was decided on a particular date. Children will grow the bean plant. They will sow the seed, and they will water their plant. It was like a class together. They can do it, or in a group they can do it, or across the classrooms also they can do it, or individually they could do it. And even the schools, they were chosen, and they all did this project on a particular day, and then they watered their plant. Now they every week they used to measure the plant to see
Okay.
how much it has grown, and they maintained a journal. And then the one school that grew the tallest plant, they were awarded with certificate.
Okay.
So this was a global project which was really appreciated, and children enjoyed it very much, and the learning also was very great. So
So when we collaborate with global schools and all, what is the mode and how do you connect with them? Is there any particular platform where you communicate, or it's the management that?
no, we have lot of tools now. This time, earlier when we used to do, we only had Skype. So we used to have Skype meetings, but now we can send videos, we can have video calling, we can have WhatsApp calling,
Mhm.
and we also have the Google Meets. So we do that, and we are into Rise Up for Peace. We also have Rise Up for SDGs. So our children are doing all that.
So what is your core purpose when we are doing the projects like Rise Up for Peace and all? So what is your core purpose? What is the core goal that you want to achieve from these type of projects?
That children should be aware of what peace is, how it can be attained. The need for peaceful solutions is very important these days, and creating awareness at an early age is something which is needed, I feel. So, and then across the globe, when we connect with schools, which are maybe, in areas where there's not much of peace, so their children try to understand the problems that those children are facing, and together they can work out on some kind of solutions, think of solutions. Whether they will work or not work, that is different, but at least they think
They
about
exchange
it.
their
They
thoughts. So
exchange
in
their
a
thoughts, they share their views. So these kind of platforms are doing. And then children, we also create a newsletter after that, and then everybody comes together at the end of the activities, end of the month they come together, and then they they see the newsletter, whatever they have contributed.
So, do you have any form where a lot of children can contribute to the newsletters? Because generally, if we go, a newsletter will be 2 pager or 3 pages. So, might be only handful of 5 to 6 children are able to collaborate in that newsletter.
Yeah.
Is there any particular structure where a lot of children can be part of it, and there can be too many newsletters depending on the interest of the child?
It's actually, turn wise they do it, but in a month. So, say 4 or 5 schools, they get together and they send their activities. So, they are displayed on, or they are reflected in the newsletter. And then another school gets a chance. But right now, we don't have that kind of a platform where everybody can.
So, is there? Do you have any type of mentorship going between the junior and the senior schools of B.D.Memorial, where the senior children also become mentors for these children? Because exchange of thought is very important these days.
Yes.
So, do you have any interaction between the two sections, or the
no? There is total interaction in the sense like these children only go up to the high schools. From here, they go directly to the high schools. It's one-time admission that we take in the junior section, and also that continuity is there. And also, when there are some projects where they can collaborate or be a part of it, like some events are there, so we try and collaborate, but otherwise the same kind of curriculum is followed, and sharing of ideas and views. We also have platforms, these for teachers. It is basically sharing activities, so we share the activities that are being done with the different schools and also the branches.
So you have a lot of branches of this junior division. So, is there any sharing of the resources or anything happening between these branches?
Yes.
So, what type of resources do you share in the branches?
Lesson plans are shared. Then we also have activities that are shared. One person is in charge of activities, so they discuss with each other. And then we have also started one program which is called Srishti. So, in this Srishti, whatever the children are learning class-wise, so they depict that in the form of a performance, and we invite parents. So it is not only collaboration between teachers, students, and peer learning. It is also collaboration with the parents. So sometimes parents also come and perform, so they feel happy about it. And also the parents get to see in what ways children are learning. Like yesterday, we had Srishti in one of our branches, and that there was a lesson on EVS, on saving water. So children created the whole lesson into a rap song.
Okay.
And they sang that as a rap song.
So ma'am, do you just say suppose one branch did this rap song? Do you have any repository where this rap song is recorded, kept in, so the other branches are seeing it? So you have your.
We generally record that and then share it on our social media team. Then we have those.
Okay, so it's on the social media. It's
social media, and also we have those. What do you call them? The Google Drive. So one folder is there.
So it's not available. So now, Kish, can you imagine what will happen if the rap song what they have created is visible on your platform to the world? That yes, these school children are doing like this. What magic will happen then? If you think this can
that would be one
reality.
Wonderful. Some things we
so say suppose if I see you smiling, I feel like smiling. So if a child is seeing someone else saving water, doing some activity, I might not be, I don't want to do that. But when I see someone doing it and something is getting created out of that, or someone is benefiting out of that, then I also get inspired to do it. So then peer learning happens, and a lot of children learn from each other. It's just copy pasting and things, because we are humans. We learn from each other more. So that is, if I see someone shouting, I also shout.
Absolutely.
If I see someone smile, I smile. Someone is crying, we cry.
Yes.
So learning from each other will become a bit more.
Right. I think if there is that kind of a platform where different schools can come together and display or post whatever they are doing, that would be a good learning.
And if this control is also given to the children, so that the teachers and principals do not have that burden of doing it, that one another tool to monitor us. So that is a fair tag when we go to digitalization.
It's like social media, we have the YouTube channel, but then again, you have to search for it.
Again, you have to search for it, and anyone coming. So today, if I talk about schools being differentiated, today schools are And the parents, when we were young, we didn't have a choice. Ki, bhai, this school, this school. Our parents also did not go around this schools. Today, parents are evaluating schools.
Yeah.
I want to put my child in which school. So people are talking about smart schools. This school children are achieving more marks by this and that.
Absolutely.
But now, if I talk about being a differentiator, so the differentiator a school becomes is more into how you are upbringing your children, how your children are transforming from the day they stepped into school. So it's from a junior level to a senior. If a child, generally schools, parents do not change unless there is a transferable job. So this transformation of a child happens inside a school. So school nurtures them, they just shape them up.
Absolutely.
So in this process, there are a lot of activities a child does in the school. They evolve. Say in class, when a child is in class, when they have a different level of interest, as they grow up, they have impact of the environment around them. So there are a lot of things happening to them. There are a lot of changes. There are a lot of queries and questions they have. So how about, do you manage these queries of children and these communication handling of these junior class children? They do not have an potential to express themselves too. So there are a lot of communities also you must be having in your school too. So how do you handle these, and how children are getting you're doing collaboration within themselves on this regard?
Yes, we are using the tools that we have, the technological tools, so that everything comes on one platform. But that platform is, of course, either a school magazine, or we have e-newsletters. So we have club newsletters also that.
So y'all are doing them manually.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay. So teachers and students are responsible for that.
Absolutely.
So do you have a school magazine, one new school magazine for the entire school?
For all the branches.
Okay. So how do you think that if you have a place where you can create school magazine for different classes differently, so that most of the children can collaborate of all the 5 schools together?
That would be great, because right now what we've started is creating newsletters for different clubs.
Okay.
So
these newsletters are of the school activities and all.
Yes.
Okay. So any newsletters you have for your current affairs or real world news, whatever is going around the world for children?
Not yet. We have news of the week on the boards.
On the boards, assembly news that the children do. So it's a more of a manual driven process.
Right.
Okay. So then your school magazine is also manual, and the students and teachers work behind creating the school magazine.
Mostly.
Most of them. Okay. So how do the 5 schools, since you mentioned that school magazine is created by 5 schools, one magazine is there for all 5. So how do you collaborate on the articles from all 5 schools?
Teachers collect the articles.
Manually they are collecting. So a lot of time is getting invested into it. So it almost any time frame you can suggest that this is the time frame that is getting collected into them?
It takes us for about a month to complete everything.
Okay. So then you can correct that. Okay.
Yes.
So now when we talk about this real world, so whenever the collaboration is there, going outside the border of the school, it's all related to let children understand the real world. The world around us is different. And with all this demonetization, COVIDs, and then this nature activities and war and everything coming up, there are children have to be prepared to face any challenge that may come up to them. Even COVID was a challenge for children. A lot of children went into depression within soul, alone in the family, and single child. They were also a challenge. So now connecting with the real world, when we talk about breaking the barriers, is there any process that you have in your school where children are, I think, inspired to connect, or they are asked to bring along outside world and news, or they discuss about that, or a forum where you have? Is there any process in school right now?
Process in the sense we follow the PBL method, the project-based learning. And we do a lot of collaborations, like with heritage sites which are based on heritage, and basically a lot with Indian Museum also. So children, they even participate in Raj Bhavan for the programs. And so whenever they're learning a lesson, so we try and connect that lesson to especially history. So other subjects also come into being when they explore a subject in the museum. Then they write a journal about it. They write their experience. They try and talk about it. So the learning and the verbal skills they.
So, when this
develop.
process is happening, do you feel that only selected children in the school are getting involved? It's not a mass collaboration.
We do try and give all a
Okay,
chance.
okay,
We do
okay.
try and give.
So it's in a rotation way, but it cannot happen where most of the children are collaborating together. So if I think of that, so is there a situation
They
where most of the
collaborate
children
in the
simply
sense
collaborate?
like group learning is there.
Group
When they
learning
form
is there.
groups, then they
Okay.
collaborate. In
So do
those
you find
groups.
a challenge in measuring? Say you have made a group of 10 children. Out of the 2 are working and completing their project, other 8 are not working. So how is this experience to you? In most of the classrooms, we find this activity happening. And then they will complain, ma'am, this person has not done anything. She has not contributed anything, or he has
I
not
suppose,
contributed.
that motivation is there. So most of them they work, I feel.
Okay,
Because
okay.
when they're given a responsibility, they're given a job, so they enjoy and they try to work around it.
So, any challenges where teachers face when you have children from this school or communicating with the other school, or do you have any process in your school where it becomes?
Challenges like yes, teachers have to work hard. They have to make sure that children are given a chance. They have the opportunity, and try and connect through technology only. But sometimes we do bring the children from one branch to another branch, and we have learning together. Like for certain workshops are there, or certain kinds of author visits are there. So, recently we had a workshop on elocution, Bengali elocution. So children from class 5 of one branch were brought to another branch. So that physical movement is there, but it has to be taken care of.
So now with this digitalization, do you face challenges with teachers, because all collaboration and going outside breaking the school borders is all about engaging with each other?
Yes.
So what are the challenges you face with teachers?
Sometimes they are not willing, but they don't say so. But we can understand the pressures are there. Pressures of work is there. Their pressure in the house. Domestic issues are also there. So once they are in the house, we don't like to disturb them, even though it's on a digital platform. So time constraint is there, I feel. That is one challenge. Then some may not be that savvy, or some they may not like it that much, even though they are savvy, but they may not like it so much.
Any type of training in your B.D.Memorial is done for the teachers to uplift and come up to this today?
Yeah, training is happening almost every month. So,
so training is through a third-party agency, or your school teachers are helping each other?
They log on to webinars, or we have sometimes resource persons also who are coming from outside, and they are
okay. So these webinars are organized by your school management or the senior school batches?
Sometimes links are sent to us, and then, as I told you about that Early Childhood Association, we have that platform where a lot of schools are connected, and from the head office also many webinars are posted. So
what is this concept of Early Childhood Association also, which you started the chapter of Kolkata?
Yeah.
So what is this association responsible for? What does this association
do? This is a non-profit organization which was started by Dr. Swati Popatwats. So the main idea was to bring preschools together on a platform where they will help each other, and where they can know what is right and what is not right for early years. Because everything, as you see, has to be age appropriate when early years is being looked after. And also there are certain pedagogies, certain practices which may not be right. So now at least early childhood education has been recognized by NEP. But 15 years ago when this started, there was no platform. So it started at that time. And otherwise also the basic idea is to connect, to help each other, to understand and to do the right things for early childhood years.
Okay, so there all the other Montessori schools and other early child schools who are into early child education, they actually meet. So do you have a annual monthly meeting or any such, or it's just a virtual connections that
Most
you're
of the it is virtual connection, and we have our WhatsApp groups. So we float ideas on the WhatsApp groups. Also, we have the national, like I'm member of the national core committee. So we have, we have campaigns, we have policies that, like recently was a campaign that was floated by us was no sugar campaign.
Okay.
So we tried to make children aware and parents aware of not having sugar
Okay.
and not giving too much of sugar to children. So those kind of things, and we have a play policy where parents try to understand what play is all about. Otherwise, parents would ask, my son only comes or daughter only comes home and tells me that today আমি শুধু খেলা করেছি. So to make them understand what play is, we have a policy.
So when we talk about this NEP 2020 goals, so there also they are talking about this training private schools, picking up some school which is having limited resources.
Yeah.
Then they are also talking about sharing of resources, because
Yeah.
today if we talk about the number of students that are coming for education compared to the ratio of teachers available for today, that is very challenging. Even a lot of junior schools or schools who cannot pay very high, there is a scarcity of good teachers. In any ways, and every time good teachers are very few. So what do you think can be a practice among schools, and even which is also we are able to, not with a pressure that a teacher is not going to a school to help them, or the teacher is not shared, because a teacher has a limited number of hours she can spend on teaching, otherwise the quality also decreases. So do you have anything in your mind where these type of process can help to share resources, and it can help one school helping other school, as well as the resources are shared? Anything you have in your mind on this?
Here, I think digital platform is something which is needed. And we have been trying to do this from Early Childhood Association and also from B.D.Memorial. We have a few schools that we cater to. There is one in Sundarbans, Swapnapurn. So for that school, they have few branches. So the teachers there, I've been doing a lot of, training on the Facebook live stream for these teachers. And so again, I think digitalization is something which we have to look at when we look at soft skill training. And otherwise, if we can help them with physical resources also, that also we try and do sometimes, when we don't need some furniture. So instead of just selling away that furniture, we just, in good condition, it can be used. But sometimes
So
we
that
just
is
change.
a resource aid into the physical aspects of it. So now talking about, say, a child doing a project in Calcutta and a child doing a project in Sundarban, there is a different thought process, because here the parents, the child is in a society which is uplifted and they have a different thought process, and a child in Sundarban is having a different thought process and doing the same project. So how do you think that if we are able to display the work the children are doing today in an effortless manner, will help the child in Sundarban to learn from how the world is moving and their upgradation will happen?
Absolutely. It will be great. It's a great learning for them. And vice versa. So what they are doing in Sundarban, they are connected
These
to
children,
nature.
yes, these
So
children
that
don't
kind
know.
of nature, if the child's here in the urban areas is able to see.
So urban areas children are pampered, they have all facilities,
Right.
AC, they don't know what is hot and cold.
Absolutely.
So when they learn their experience, so it's an interconnected world where this is going to help. Yeah.
Collaborations are the
Today, if we talk about B.D.Memorial, that what is their focus on bringing whatever we discussed right now, that bringing anything is, are you working anywhere in any aspect to bring these features in the school, or you're thinking on it?
I didn't get you which features.
So I'm just talking about that, if say we are talking about this collaboration, then helping, so you are to be helping the Sundarban schools and their group of schools and all. So is there any particular process in your in incoming future which you all are working on where this can be a bit eased out. It's not a pressure on the teacher, on the management to do it, and it automatically happens. Is there any process that you're following? Not currently.
Not exactly, not a systematic process, but yes.
Yeah, it's a manual driven process, which is the pressure, and which most of the time, if there is time constraint, then that is ignored, what is happening today.
Sometimes.
So, anything which you feel like about talking on this lines about schools without borders and all, you have in mind which we could not cover?
Yes, I feel, I mean, like we need to look at it as much as possible, because learning is something which is seamless. We cannot restrain it to a particular area or a particular age group. It has to be spread out, and it has to be learned from each and other, not only for children, also for teachers. So peer learning is something which is needed, and collaborations across the world are a must. We must go in for those, and also, connecting with nature. Let children be out in the classroom. We, in our olden days, we had gurukuls. We had children going into the forest and learning. And now West has started some forest schools. So, like urban areas, we don't have that kind of space. But if we can think of these kind of schools where a lot of open spaces are there, and we are near the forest where children can actually have forest schools, so that would be something.
But that is something
really
which is
wonderful.
physically very challenging, and it's very challenging.
Yes.
So, getting children into forest schools, taking them, parents will be scared where my child is going, because connectivity
it is happening in the West. People are doing it. And
so, talking on the West and talking about Indian population, Indian mentality, Indian culture, not have changed, but still there is a lot of constraint.
lot of changes are required.
So, if you have seen transformation in your entire career of 35 years, is a very long year. So, how have you seen the mindset shift among people?
That is something which I really want to feel proud about, because their mindsets are something which was a challenge for me, especially when we started on this policy of no marks. And even in the lower classes, for the pre-primary years, parents were expecting marks, and they were expecting traditional way of teaching. So when we put a stop to that, and when we said that no marks and no exams for these children, we have to treat them in a, they have to study in a different way. They have to, has to be more activity based. So then that problem did come up, because parents had this notion that marks are important. How will they learn to compete? So we did a lot of webinars, lot of parent orientation, calling them to school. And now also every Saturday, our parents, they come to school, and they are invited to do activities with children, so that they understand what these activities are all about and how they are helping children. So that is one area where we feel a lot has happened, and we've been able to do. Then there are, as I said, a lot of campaigns which are under Early Childhood Association also. So we follow those. And there was one no competition policy. So even in our sports, we don't have competition for the lower classes. They don't stand up on the ramp for class position of first, second, third. So all children are given certificates. There also we had a few parents objecting and saying that they should learn how to compete. So we managed to turn that around and tell them there's enough time for them to learn. Let them grow up.
Okay, so when you talk about with parents and all, what type of parents are the most challenging part when you interact with parents? Is the adoption, the digitalization is a challenge, or the process of that is challenge?
Actually, these days, I think most of the parents are a challenge, if you ask me, because first, it's not their fault. They don't have the time. They are into mostly both the parents are working. They are they have nuclear families.
Yes,
there's true. Nobody to look after children. Nobody to tell children a story. Something that we have grown up on. So then they are into mobile phones, whether it is for work or whether it is for pleasure, and children are seeing that. So their role modeling is not happening the way it should be happening. So there, I feel that is a big challenge for most of us, and we are trying to do it in our own way. Explain to parents that they have to give time, they have to be good role models.
So I'm just but maybe discussing on this part on a different aspect. Do you think that, say, nuclear families, most of the parents choose to have a single child? And earlier we had siblings, we had to learn from our elder brothers and sisters. Joint families are not there, so neither our elder parents are there, neither our cousins are there. So we don't learn from them. Do you think that a platform where the school seniors, they become as mentors and role models for the children and they can guide the children, can help schools?
That could really help, yes.
Yeah, so anything in your mind that this is just filling the gap, the parents, the communication with the children, because right now children are filling this gap with social media platforms. And these social media platform, what they pops up to the children is not under our control.
No.
So anything which is in under our control, and the school environment where everyone is secure and all. So if that type of environment is, if we are able to create that environment in school, which is a collaboration where every student, every teacher, every educator, they themselves are automatically weaved in that. And it automatically
I'm not
runs.
really, if such thing can be there, I suppose that could really help schools. Could be a social media platform, or could be a website or something like
This discussion, I'll show you at Newsepick, we are working on this only.
Oh, really?
So it is an initiative which took birth from my experience as a mother, and what I have seen teachers in schools struggling into, and what I have experienced into how students are with this nuclear family culture and both parents working, how a child is getting, there is a gap which is created within their curiosity. We remember when we came back from school, we had a lot of questions. Today this happened, today ma'am has taught me this, what is this, why this is happening. We had our parents, we had our elders, we had our siblings who used to guide us into this. So with this platform, we are more trying to create an environment where your school seniors are becoming siblings. They are helping you out what we can question them and queries them. And that is a platform which is managed at the school level. So no outsider is there.
Okay.
So I'll definitely share with you the details of that and we'll discuss on that. I think probably it can be a very good help for this today's current scenario in schools. Let's see that.
Very nice.
Any outcomes or reflection you have seen in the school tenure, that you have seen that yes, there is something where a child reflects on the other child, or the other child has done, the other child also follows the same thing. Have you ever experienced those type of scenarios?
Yeah, in lot of cases, children are role models all the time. So supposing especially we have the system of healthy tiffin. So tiffin time, they look at each other's tiffin.
Who has brought it?
And when a teacher praises a healthy tiffin or gives a little star on someone's healthy tiffin, that child goes home and tells the parent that I want this tomorrow in my tiffin.
Okay. So it's an inspiration that happens.
Inspiration.
Okay. So when you put on into the no marks that you spoke about, so what is the mode of evaluating the children that you follow in the school today?
Observation, continuous evaluation. And without children knowing, their skill development is what.
So the evaluation is on what grounds? Is how the child is collaborating, how the child is performing in the class.
Different parameters are there. Different parameters are according to age. What is the child able to do? Like there's physical development, there's cognitive development, there is emotional, social developments. So all that is looked at. So according to the age, different parameters are there. So there are goal competencies.
Okay.
So this is the goal, and if the child has reached that competency, so it is not
graded.
No A's, B's, no grades.
Okay.
So it is color coding, and according to the color coding, we see whether the child he's just beginning to learn, or he has learned, or he's learned up to the level that he can even teach others. So the performance is like that.
So you just encourage children to help the other children of a lower class.
Yes. Peer learning helps a lot.
Okay, so they are, well, children love peer learning. They feel like I'm the leader.
They do. And the one who's being helped also feels happy.
Okay. So have you seen a change in a child? Say I have helped someone. Later, that child also comes up that they also develop that leadership skill to help each other. So they have transformed.
They do. This is all what learning from it, emulation is all about. So they emulate.
So how does teachers get involved into this peer learning? Is there any process where teachers are getting involved into this peer learning?
Yeah, there is a buddy system.
Okay.
So we feel one child who is not doing too well, so that the child who is who can help, so they make them sit next to each other. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we have the layout of the classrooms is such that it's kind of a group learning.
Okay, so it's a circle-based,
not the traditional classrooms that we have. So children then they know that so they are encouraged to help.
So circle learning is in the junior section, or as well as you follow this in the senior one also?
Right now, till the junior section we have. Senior section we have different layouts, and mostly there also a lot of project-based learning is happening. So when project-based learning is happening, all groups are formed and children do help each other.
So you are an advisory board of the senior sections also.
Yeah.
What is the difference you see in the junior and the senior school?
Junior school, lot of activities can happen, and senior school, a little bit of syllabus orientation is there, so children have to work accordingly. But thankfully, with NEP coming in, lot of changes have happened. So now, even whatever the children are learning, the learning outcomes they are achieving through different activities also. Okay. So field visits are there, project-based learning is there.
So if you talk about NEP, what are the top 2 things that you really love about NEP?
I like the fact that, first of all, it has given recognition to early childhood education. So I'm happy about that.
Okay.
So people take us seriously now. Otherwise, it was, I used to keep telling my teachers, you should always pat your backs and say, you are the founders. So now.
So today, if we think in the early childhood, by the time a child reaches 5, they've developed their sense of reasoning. And post that, you can just guide them. They have their own creators. They've developed their thinking ability. So early childhood education is very, very important, because that is only the time when a child will listen to you to shape them up. So that is very important.
So that the brain development is happening at that time, and it's happening so quickly that we have to keep pace with them.
Yeah.
To ensure.
So how challenging it is to work with small kids?
It is a challenge, and it's also a great pleasure. Okay. Because every day you're learning something new. We go home enriched. That today was
today. If I talk about today's kids and 10 years prior kids, what is the major difference you see?
Well, earlier children were not that aware, and they took time to even absorb and understand. But these days, children are more exposed to learning. They're more exposed to the outer world. They're cognitively more developed. But socially and emotional learning is less. Okay.
What is it that schools can do for this emotional building?
We can only provide that support and be there. Try to inculcate the values of empathy and various other values value education is very important. Schools have to look at the culture and the.
So anything you Indians followed in your school for inculcating this value education?
We have storytelling, we have various activities, we have various kinds of like sharing, caring, we have the kindness week. So those kind of activities we try and do where parents are also involved, because ultimately parents are the one who have to cooperate and make sure that that learning continues in the house as well.
Okay, if on concluding, do you have a message for the educators or parents as an early childhood expert?
Yeah, I feel that experiential learning is very important. Make children experience what they are learning, because that is the only way that they can be lifelong learners. So,
okay. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving your time, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. Enjoyed it.